Hello, everybody, and welcome to a game called My Judgment. I recently found this game off Roblox, and I decided to play with y'all just to try a little something, a little fun video. If you guys wanted to see my reaction, but anyways, if you want to just do whatever you want, continue watching this video. Let's just move on, all right? Let's move on with this game. So let me turn off that right there. Hello, hello. Let's go over our counties. A country's community standards to remind us of a few important things. Homicide. I'll try to summarize this for you. Okay. Homicide is basically when one person causes the death of another person. There are two types of homicide: culpable and non-culpable. I can't skip it, guys. So, yeah. Culpable homicide is when somebody is blameworthy of another person's death. Non-culpable is the opposite. How can someone not be blameworthy? Well, situations like self-defense with justified force, and yeah, just self-defense. Anyways, if you want to read the board, go ahead. Click to continue. Alright, on to our next topic. Murder is a serious offense. It is a mandatory life sentence. Murder is first degree murder when it is planned and deliberate. Second degree is only when it is deliberate. This may affect sentencing. Not that much though, just an earlier chance of parole. Not much leeway here. Keep reading if you want. Alright, let's see. Sorry for not reading the other one, but let's see. Murder. Everyone who commits first degree murder is guilty of criminal defense. Okay, it's simple. Oh, I forgot. Sometimes people do not have any intent in causing death, like reckless behavior or significant provocation, which affects sentencing. There is no mandatory minimum sentence, except when a firearm is used. Then it's minimum 4 years. Judges have flexibility to consider the context, such as remorse or whether it was an accident. Last thing, this is where things get fuzzy. There are some cases where people may not be criminally responsible for murder on account of mental disorder. Instead, they go before a review board for a decision. The accused can be detained to a hospital, or even be conditionally or absolutely discharged if they are not a threat to public. Make sure to read the board. It's important to understand. Let's continue. Verdict of non-criminally responsible on account of mental disorder, where the jury or the judge or provincial court judge where there is no jury finds that an accused committed the act or made the omission that formed the basis of the offense charged, but was at the time suffering from mental disorder, so as to be exempt from criminal responsibility by virtue of subsection 16, the jury or the judge shall render a verdict that the accused committed the act or made the omission but is not criminally responsible on account of mental disorder. Alright, I think you are ready. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey? Gotcha, boss. Let's move on. So we got 5 days. Let's go ahead with Monday first. Because, you had to. That's a nice room. Really empty out there, though. Hello again. How are you? Shit, man, I'm pretty alright, though. Alright, let's get on with business. You're a little late. Yeah, so the rain and shit. It'd be kind of rainy. This week, you will practice choosing the correct sentences for crimes related to murder. You will be reading court cases to help you make your judgment. Okay? Don't worry. I've made them shorter for your convenience. Gotcha. It's kind of... Okay. Just a side note. Sometimes these cases can be pretty sad. Shit, yeah, you look sad, man. Probably read too much of these. It's important to not let your emotions get in the way. Think like a judge. Always consider both sides to make the right decision. Use the community standards to justify your decision. Without further ado, let's get started with your first case. Alright, I'm ready, man. RV, Milo, Shaggy, and Sven Fedora. Alright, let's take a look here. Citation RV, Milo, Shaggy, and Sven Fedora 2025 SDG 98. Registry something. And this was taken January 31st of 2024. Between His Majesty the King and Milo is Sven Fedora, unaccused. Sentencing decision of the Honorable Justice Reese Wilcox. Introduction. On September 21st of 2023, the applicants Milo, Shaggy, and Sven Fedora, collectively the applicants, were found guilty by a jury for the murder of John Doe. The imposition of sentence has been adjourned, and now they bring a constitutional challenge to the community standards, which mandates a blank for all of those committed murder. Back to the offense. Late on June 11th and into the morning hours of June 12th, 2020, John Doe attended at Block A Heights in the southeast part of Graymore. Block A was the home of applicant Milo Shaggy, Mr. Doe, and Mrs. Shaggy. And the second applicant, Sven Fedora, were captured on video socializing in front of Block A on the driveway in front of the garage. The encounter seemed to be a happy one at first. The parties are seen laughing and hugging one another. So what we can learn from here is, building up. However, at some point, things took a turn. Mr. Doe left Block A in his wide Drana with Mr. Fedora as his passenger. Okay, so that's this guy. Well, we haven't seen Shaggy yet, right? Yeah, no Shaggy yet. So upon their return a short time later, Mr. Shaggy now was clearly upset, and he brandished an object which looked like a firearm. He prodded Mr. Doe several times with it. Eventually, Mr. Doe left. Mr. Doe returned to once in his car briefly after this, and Mr. Shaggy approached and kicked it. He also appeared to drive by on one further occasion, but did not stop. Shortly after 1 a.m., Mr. Doe again returned to Block A. He exited his car and was immediately confronted by an angry-looking Mr. Shaggy. As several times, the video footage captures Mr. Shaggy getting into Mr. Doe's face in space. Mr. Fedora initially got between Mr. Shaggy and Mr. Doe. Mr. Fedora then pushed Mr. Doe multiple times. As Mr. Doe turned to lead, Mr. Fedora can be seen grabbing his arm and his shoulders to prevent him from returning to his car. Mr. Doe was knocked to the ground by the two men, then got up and was pursued by both. As they followed him, they positioned themselves between Mr. Doe and his motor vehicle, and it can be inferred that both were trying to prevent Mr. Doe from escaping. Mr. Fedora then punched Mr. Doe multiple times. Mr. Doe appeared to counterpunch Mr. Fedora in self-defense, and Mr. Fedora fell to the ground as did Mr. Doe. Mr. Shaggy then kicked Mr. Doe, and both Mr. Shaggy and Mr. Fedora got on top of him. Mr. Fedora then got up and started to kick Mr. Doe while Mr. Shaggy was pinning him down on his back. About 1 minute later, Mr. Doe momentarily broke free and tried to scramble away to escape. Both Mr. Fedora and Mr. Shaggy pursued and restrained him, forcing him to the ground of the roadway. Over the next 10 to 15 minutes, Mr. Doe was punched, kicked, dragged about the roadway, and hit with a linked sword wielded by Mr. Fedora several times. At several times, Mr. Doe was seen trying to get up and get away, only to be beaten down again. The entire interaction was captured on video surveillance of Block A and Block 9 Heights. Mr. Doe died in front of Block 9 Heights. The pathologist, Dr. Flamingo, determined the cause of death to be a wound that injured Mr. Doe's carotid artery. So, not guilty under mental disorder. So this is straight murder. I'd say it wasn't planned. I'm gonna say medium sentence. Actually, this is kill. Last sentence. Okay, let me see what you picked. Hopefully it's a good choice, right choice. Incorrect. Bro. See what they did to him, bro? The correct answer was a life sentence of parole eligibility after 25 years. Oh, so it should have been higher. It's okay. You have another chance tomorrow. Alright. That's pretty good though, guys. That's cool. See you later, alligator. Hey, that's what I say, man. That's what I say. It's my line. Now we're at home and shit. I need to check on him. What's to say though? I am being attacked. I do not know what is happening to me, but I am being hurt. Something started me, and I can't seem to stop it. Let's get out of this room. Jeez, this room is really lucky. Listen to this no door. I'm not crazy, I swear, but I hear these voices. They keep insulting me and calling me horrible things. I really do not know what is happening. I am so scared. I have called the police multiple times and they have done nothing. Jeez, the door isn't even locked. the bathroom, the laundry machine. Nobody's taking a shower, right? Okay, let's go here. And this is the right room, right? Before we even go there, I want us to read this note. Here. Whatever is happening, I know the Lord will guide me to safety. I must put my faith in the Most High. The baby. It's a baby. I will figure this out. Where do I go now? Let's just wash the baby or something? Clearly I don't do it that. Let me turn on the light though. Can we turn on the light? Okay, I'm just gonna go back to bed. I think that's the best option I got. We need sleep. Come on. Yep, that was the right option. Alright. Tuesday. Let's move on with the day. Hello again, lady. I don't know your name, but you know. Another day, another crisis. Cool. Today, I am going to add another section to the case called mitigating factors. Alright? When you are a judge, you have to consider every single factor related to the case. Okay? Weighing all factors to make the most appropriate decision. Alright. While I am only adding a section that supports the accused, you will still determine the aggravating factors yourself. Enough talk. Let's get on with the program. Ready when you are. R.V. Robert Firebrand. Alright. Sentencing decision. This is 2017, May 22nd. Sentencing decision of the Honorable Justice Reese McLaughlin. Introduction overview. On March 12, 2016, Robert Firebrand, the accused, was convicted by a jury in Lackport, Lintor, in relation to the death of Ryan Shadelsky. His sentencing hearing took place in Lackport on March 29, 2016. Following the receipts of the jury recommendations pursuant to 745 of the community standards, and after hearing the submissions of both the Crown and the defense, after having received the victim impact statements prepared by the mother of Mr. Shadelsky, I reserved my decision until April 6, 2016. These are my business for the decision. Facts. The facts relating to this case are largely drawn from the accused's true statements to the police. The first to Officer A on November 3rd of 2010, and the second to Officer B on February 16th of 2011. So, true officers. Additional facts are drawn from other witnesses who gave evidence during the course of the trial. 4. Mr. Firebrand and his roommate attended at the Lackport Friendship Association hangout during the early mornings of December 26, 2009, with the intention of stealing boxy cola and money they believed to be on the premises. A third person was keeping 6 or standing guard outside the hangout while the accused and his friend entered the premises. The accused found out about boxy cola being kept on the premises through a friend or of a friend who reportedly knew Ryan Shadelsky. Neither the accused nor his roommate knew Mr. Shadelsky. And this is very important. The accused was dressed in all black, wearing a hoodie, old pants, old shoes, and gloves when this incident occurred. Immediately prior to going to the hangout, the accused and his two accomplices were captured in the in-store security video at the Max store located in the same strip mall as the hangout. Entry was gained when the accused and his roommate banged on the back door of the hangout and announced they were the police. Mr. Shadelsky opened the door a crack, at which point he realized they were not police officers. The accused roommates then grabbed Mr. Shadelsky, at which point a fight broke out in the alley. Before they all moved inside the hangout, Mr. Shadelsky was reported to have put up a scrap and beating on the accused roommate. Mr. Shadelsky ran to the hangout trying to get away, pursued by the accused and his roommate. During the pursuit, the accused shot Mr. Shadelsky twice in the lower back. After the shooting, the accused and his roommate took off on foot down the dark alley behind the strip mall to the residence of one of the accused's accomplices. The accused later burned his clothing and shoes in a 45-gallon drum. While the accused told Officer B that they took 15 liters of Bloxy Cola and 10,000 cash during the robbery, None of the witnesses saw any large items in the hands of anyone observed in the back alley around the time of the shooting. After the shooting, the police determined there was money in the hangout cash register and in a tip jar. An autopsy was conducted on Ryan Shadetsky, wherein it determined that he died from two gunshots to the trunk. Mitigating circumstances. The defense urged me to follow mitigating circumstances. A. Strong family support. I accept that the defense contention that the accused has very active support of his mother and other family members. His mother attended the entire trial as well as the multiple weeks devoted to the pre-trial applications in July and September 2019. Family support has no doubt helped to sustain the accused during the lengthy period of time he has spent awaiting the outcome of his trial, almost 2 years after the Court of Appeal overturned his conviction. Continued family support will, I suggest, also be a factor in the accused's long-term rehabilitation once released on parole. In my view, this is a positive factor in the accused's life. The accused's behaviors on release. As previously indicated, I agree that the accused did well during the 6.5 months that he was on release until the conclusion of his trial. He was subject to house arrest and electronic monitoring throughout this period of time. For the reasons previously given, I place some weight on the fact that he was subject to onerous bail conditions in my determination of the appropriate period of penal job. So, make sure he died, right? John Shadetsky did die. Alright. Yeah. The accused's lengthy period of pretrial custody, including 4.5 years spent on remand. As previously discussed, this is not a factor that I may probably take into consideration when fixing the period of parole ineligibility. The accused's efforts to rehabilitate himself to turn the police around. When the accused first met Officer A at the beginning of the police undercover operation, he told Officer A that he was trying to turn his life around. To his credit, the accused bunch around himself. I accept the representation made on behalf that he has been boxing over free for a number of years, and he was motivated to attend counseling. Okay, I say medium sentence. I think I did wrong. I did bad. I think I did bad. Incorrect. Wrong. Freak, man. The correct answer was a life sentence with parole eligibility after 10 to 25 years. I should have went with that one. Nice try, though. You will get the next one. I believe you. Thank you for being so kind to me. Anyways, have a safe trip home. Thank you. I really appreciate it. What? What the hell? I went online and I realized that I was not alone. There are many people who are going through the same thing as me. It's been the neighbors this whole time. They are the ones speaking in my head. What the hell is happening? Henry Venom Shank. He is the ringleader behind all this from upstairs. My life is in danger. He is slowly trying to kill me. Another note down there. I am being gang stalked. That is the only way to explain what is happening. Wherever I go, I always hear the voices. I only know 100% that the neighbors above me are behind all this. The upstairs neighbors are using synthetic telepathy. They put a device on the floor, and that's why I can feel my veins. Why are they attacking me? Why? The upstairs neighbors are using synthetic. Please, let's just go check the baby. Let's go to sleep. I don't want to hear this noise anymore. It's only Tuesday and see how crazy this is. Hey, baby, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. I'm the person to fight back. Yes, you must fight back. It's clearly you weren't well. No TV. That's a lot of time. Go to sleep, man. Just go to sleep. Oh my goodness, this is actually crazy. Alright, it's Wednesday. We're almost halfway there. It's about. Hey there. Sorry about greeting you weirdly yesterday. I was just trying to be funny. Really? I don't remember that. So, in today's case, there is a thing called the guest report. In case you didn't know, guests that face major systemic discrimination in the past. This has caused intergenerational trauma against the guest people. When guests are being persecuted for a crime, the judges have to consider the guest report. The purpose of this is to help ensure the sentence is fair, restorative, and culturally appropriate. Okay, sounds reasonable. Let's see how you handle this one. Alright, hopefully I get this one right. I've been on a losing streak. R versus Num Num Digaisto. Right? On January 27, 2010, Num Num Digesto viciously attacked and beat Kai Valkyrie over a 10-minute period on an LRT train in front of numerous passengers. Mr. Valkyrie was placed on life support and died 2 days later. The attack appeared to be unprovoked. The circumstances of the offense were summarized at paragraphs 8 to 10 of the reasons of the sentencing judge reported at RV Digesto. Alright, Justice Chewbacca. Kai Valkyrie died in the hospital on Saturday, January 27, 2010, 2 days after Mr. DeGasto viciously attacked and beat him on an all LRT train. Mr. Valkyrie boarded the train at Bilderman Station. Mr. DeGasto was already a passenger on the train. As the train proceeded from Bilderman to Abigay Station, there was a physical altercation between Mr. DeGasto and Mr. Valkyrie. The altercation consisted of Mr. DeGasto beating Mr. Valkyrie, who tried unsuccessfully to keep away from Mr. DeGasto. Witnesses heard Mr. Valkyrie telling Mr. DeGasto to stop, to leave him alone, to get away from him, and to not hit him. Mr. Valkyrie's sword words had no effect on Mr. DeGasto. He continued to attack Mr. Valkyrie. Mr. Valkyrie did not fight back. By the time the train reached Abbey Station, Mr. Valkyrie was on the floor of the train, and Mr. DeGasto was kicking him. All the other passengers on the train exited at Abbey Gate Station. As the train continued to the next station, Spawn Point, Mr. DeGasto continued to be Mr. Valkyrie. Mr. DeGasto exited the train at Spawn Point, leaving Mr. Valkyrie unconscious on the floor of the train car. Mr. DeGasto was arrested as he walked away from the station. Mr. Valkyrie was taken to the hospital. He did not recover consciousness before he died. Dr. Krieg, the medical examiner, testified that Mr. Valkyrie died as a result of blunt cranial trauma, that is, of head injuries. The agreed statements contain this fact. On the morning of January 30th, 2010, the detective told him that Mr. DeGasto that Mr. Valkyrie was not expected to live. In response, Mr. DeGasto said something to this effect. He is going to be alright. I know he's going to be okay. He's a tough kid. Before the trial, while on remand, Mr. DeGasto's fitness to stand trial was put into issue following the deterioration of his mental state. It was apparent to the treating psychiatrist, Dr. Lana, that the onset of this deterioration was caused by Mr. DeGasto's consumption of large quantities of doxycola. Mr. DeGasto was found fit to stand trial. At trial, Dr. Pest pled not guilty to murder, but acknowledged he had attacked Mr. Valkyrie and the attack caused Mr. Valkyrie's death. Not only at trial was whether Mr. DeGasto had the necessary intent for her. Evidence at trial included testimony and other passengers of. Evidence at trial included testimony from the other passengers on the train, testimony from the police and EMS were arrived at the scene, and videos of the station platforms and from inside the train car which the attack took place. The Crown tendered expert evidence of two forensic psychiatrists, Dr. Steak and Dr. Lana. Mr. DeGasto tendered expert evidence from a neuropsychologist, Dr. Jake. The jury charge contained a detailed summary of the event of each expert. Mr. DeGasto's mother also testified. Dr. Jake was of the opinion that Mr. DeGasto does not have the ability to realize his actions are likely to cause death. Dr. Jake was also on the opinion that Mr. DeGasto has a mild to moderate but not severe intellectual disability. Portions of Dr. Jake's report was redacted as a child, but the entire report entered as an exhibit for sentencing. Dr. Jake was the only expert to conduct an in-depth assessment of Mr. DeGasto. Dr. Lana, who met with Mr. DeGasto only a few weeks before the trial, was of the opinion that Mr. DeGasto has the mental capacity to form the intent required for, meaning the intent to cause death or the intent to cause bodily harm that he would know was likely to cause death. Dr. Stiff, who never met Dexter DeGasto, expressed his opinion that a person with mild to moderate intellectual disability could but might not have the mental capacity to form the intent to cause death, and more likely than not would have the mental capacity to form the intent to cause bodily harm that they would know was most likely to cause death. The mitigating factors included that Mr. DeGasto's intellectual and cognitive impairments and Mr. DeGasto's background as set out in the pre-sentence report and guest report. Both of Mr. DeGasto's parents experienced the guest act. Both stated that this had a significant impact on their lives, on their family life. The guest report concluded. In reviewing the list, relevant and applicable guest factors, and as reviewed within the guest report interviews, we find that Mr. Guest, a guest, has experienced, witnessed, and had been personally and significantly impacted by the specific guest-related factors of the Guest Act expressed in the still location dispossession of guest people, including family and community issues of violence, psychological predation and victimization, poverty and poor living conditions, discrimination in the laws, and struggle with culture and spiritual identity consequently. Nub Nub, the guest though experienced and continues to experience intergenerational effects stemming from his family's shared intergenerational impacts of the Guest Act, consequential to witnessed and experienced parental, extended family, and community violence, crime, and poverty. And specifically for Mr. DeGesto, early conditioning to directed violence, block psychological use, and criminal activity, and gang involvement, and extreme psychological concerns currently being assessed, treated, and addressed. When this, I think, guys, not guilty under count of mental disorder. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Drumroll, please. Nope. Oh. The correct answer was a life sentence with parole eligibility after 10 to 25 years. You're getting there. Thank you for being so supportive. There is always tomorrow, right? Yeah. Eh, 2 more days. You can make them count, though. I got to head out. Pick up my daughter. See ya. Alright. Well, good luck with your daughter, ma'am. Time to have 2 more nightmares about my neighbors. I can't take this anymore. The only way this will end is if I protect myself. If I do anything, it is in defense. It is, what did I say? It is all in defense. And to help the greater cause, you can go about it legally, the right way, or you can do the defense way, because the Most High is the judge of all, and He will judge you for your doings and your actions. No notes there. Might be some notes here. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. I like to read. Nothing here. And nothing. 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 Nothing good. Oh, sorry. Let's go read the note of the baby. What's this say? You can be justified for certain things if it is according to the law of the Most High. People get murder and self-defense mixed up. Self-defense is justified. If I go to jail, it is for defending myself. They are going to pay. Is the baby doing okay? Have we fed him? I hope the baby's alright, man. It's been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Bro, it's only Wednesday. Can you imagine how Thursday and Friday are going to be like? I'm not ready. But I'm ready to read these police reports, though. Alright, let's go. Thursday. Almost at the end. Hello, lady. Hey. Hey, hey. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. What's new today? On to the next case. This one is kind of sad. There are no names used in this one. Only their initials. Okay. This is usually done to protect the identity of certain people, especially those who aren't directly involved in the crime but may be affected by public exposure. Do you think I'll end up in this? I might end up in this. Saying the self-defense shit. Anyways, good luck. Alright. RV EZZ. No. This judge uses an initiative to protect the identity of victims and witnesses. 2020, June 15th. Almost June 15th. EZZ. I'm just gonna call him Ease. Was born in 1984. He is the biological son of the deceased Peas. PZ is the biological son brother of Ease. SC was the wife of Ease. TD was the sister-in-law of Ease. KZ is the son of Ease. So all family. At the time of the event, EZZ and the deceased resided in separate residences on the same rural property in Linthorpe. EZZ lived in the main residence on the property with his wife and 5 children. The deceased lived alone in a small cabin. On May 4th of 2014, EZZ's family hosted a lunchtime family gathering at their home. In attendance were EZZ, SS, EZZ's children, TD, and her children. The plan was to stay outside, enjoy a campfire, and cook hot dogs. EZZ went into the house to find something to open the packaging under the hot dogs. He emerged from the house, approached SZ, and grabbed her by the shoulder. He told SZ to pack up the kids and go to Ufington, the town where her mother resides. EZZ turned and walked away from the SC towards the deceased's cabin, which was approximately 100 yards away from the main house. EZZ entered the deceased's cabin. EZZ's son, KZ, was in the cabin with the deceased. Okay, alright. EZZ became angry and began to yell at the deceased. EZZ punched the deceased with a closed fist. The force of the punches caused the deceased to fall out of the chair and onto the floor. He continued to punch the deceased while he was laying on the ground. SZ observed LS riding his bike from the deceased cabin. KZ told SZ what was happening. SZ ran to the deceased cabin and went inside. EZZ was standing near the deceased who was lying on the floor. SZ screamed at EZZ to leave. EZZ did not leave. SZ called the police. While SZ was on the line with the police, EZZ made a telephone call to his brother, NS. The accused left a voicemail message for PZ stating, "I just confronted our family demon that ruins everybody's lives. I need your backup in the court for what he did and how he ruined everyone's lives. I have to save my family and I don't care about anything else. Call me back when you get this as soon as possible." EZZ continued to yell at the deceased. EZZ told SC to get out of the deceased cabins or she would get hurt. SC ran out of the cabin down to her family. The deceased suffered many wounds. The defense notes that EZZ voluntarily surrendered to the police shortly after the event and admitted from the outset that he had caused the death of his father. The circumstances of the offense were presented by the way of an agreed statement of facts. The only issue to be determined at trial was EZZ's ability to appreciate the nature and quality of his actions at the time of the index offense. The defense notes that the court found that EZZ reacted in response to suppressed memories. While retaliation is not an excuse for the acts, EZZ's trauma provides insight into his distorted thinking leading to the commission of the offense. Although there was motive and the act was not random, there was no premeditation or planning. These findings significantly reduces EZZ's degree of moral culpability. So trauma, then distorted thinking that caused the effect. But EZZ did not enter a guilty plea. EZZ admitted the facts of the offense and immediately took responsibility for causing the death of his father. He has demonstrated significant remorse since the offense and continues to suffer from major depression, though he has been successful with treatment in this regard. EZZ has been in custody since the date of the index offense, May 4th, 2014. He has been cooperative and compliant since his arrest, and there have been no concerns about his conduct while he has been in custody. EZZ has been medication compliant since his diagnosis and has demonstrated significant progress towards his ultimate rehabilitation. No institutional problems have been reported, and he has been moved to a medium security facility. Though this was a violent crime, EZZ demonstrates is otherwise good character. He has no criminal record and is at very low risk of reoffending. Life sentence. Face life sentence. I'm not gonna go with that first one. It sounds too easy. Okay. Nuh-uh. Bro, what? The correct answer was a life sentence with parole eligibility after 10 to 25 years. I know. 3 times in a row. Oh. Well. Oh well. Still got one more day. We've got to win on Friday. We've been doing so bad. Let's finish off strong. Yes. After all this time, we gotta do it strong, right, boys? Oh my goodness, what is happening? Oh my goodness, the note isn't even here anymore. Sorry if my mic went down. Oh my goodness, it's so much full of notes. Let's see what it says. So they would mention before it happened, watch this, and then my heart rate would slow or start beating weirdly. They have been messing with my veins on my feet, and let's making it expand and even pop once. They have been messing with my brain while I can physically feel the veins moving within my brain. This is the system to my information from me. They are typically doing this to me while I am asleep. These devils deserve death. I will have no choice but to kill Fireband for the amount of disrespect that I have received already. This is for going out of the police's hands. They have also done this to my nephew, who I would hide. As I said it, the heart rate would also be irregularly to the point where I would hear him breathe different while sleeping. As they mentioned before it happened, watch this, and then my heart rate would slow or start beating weirdly. Okay, we may read that. Let me read that. Let's read this. They has also done this to my nephew. The only way to someone can get comfortable while being tormented is by getting rid of those who are responsible and witness the perpetrators die before their face to secure back their privacy. Dang, bro. Baby, you okay? I will do anything to protect you. So I'm pretty sure that's my father. Or my nephew. I'm pretty sure that's my nephew. Or my son. Or my daughter. I don't know. Can't really tell. Let's go back to sleep. Friday's the last day. The last day, the last case. We can do this. Friday. Finally. It's Friday. Oh man. I'm going to miss you. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you. This case is pretty long. I left a lot of things since I know you can handle it. Let's get your popcorn, boys. Take your time. This is a tricky one. Alright. RV Dexter Dominus. How long is this? That's a long one. Alright, boys. We can do this. On November 29th, 2021, at approximately 4:25 p.m., Dexter Dominus shot and killed Henry Venom Shank in the underground parking garage of Mr. Venom Shank's residence, as Mr. Venom Shank was stepping out of his vehicle. So, Venom Shank, I heard that name before in the notes, right? Y'all heard that. Much of the evidence in this case was admitted by way of concrete statements of fact. The admitted facts prove the essential elements of the offense of beyond a reasonable doubt. It is admitted that Mr. Dominus was a registered firearms owner who obtained firearms beginning in November of 2020. He took one of those firearms on November 29th, 2021 and drove to the residential building where he knew Mr. Venom Shank lived. So they just drove there. Wait, let me see. A firearms offender. Firearms owner. And drove to where Mr. Shank lived. Mr. Dominus saw Mr. Venom Shank driving to the underground parking. He followed Mr. Venom Shank's car. He drove to Mr. Venom and shot and killed him. Unless I find him to be not criminally responsible for, unless I find him for unless I find him to be not criminally responsible for the murder on Mr. Dominus must be found guilty of having committed a planned, deliberate, and intentional killing. Mr. Dominus has been assessed by two forensic psychiatrists, both of whom concluded that Mr. Dominus has schizophrenia, a major mental illness characterized in his case predominantly by delusions and hallucinations. He was actively psychotic at the time that he killed Mr. Venom Shank. He experienced paranoid delusions and hallucinations. He believed that Mr. Venom Shank and others were tormenting and attacking him and his family. In that case, the Crown does not dispute that the evidence supports the following findings on a balance of probabilities. That Mr. Dominus had a mental disorder, schizophrenia, at the time that he killed Mr. Venom Shank, and that he was, at that time, experiencing symptoms of a psychotic illness. Mr. Dominus submits that he did not know and was not capable of knowing, that society would view him and his actions as morally wrong. The position of the Crown is that Mr. Dominus has failed to prove on a balance of probabilities that his mental illness rendered him incapable of knowing the moral wrongfulness of his actions. Evidence. The personal history of Mr. Dominus and the course of his illness was set out in detail to the testimony and reports of the two psychiatric witnesses in this case, Dr. Rudy Groot and Dr. Gus Manock. Mr. Dominus was born and grew up in Graymore. He was 39 years old at the time of the trial and 37 years old at the time of the offense. He is the youngest of 7 children. His parents separated when he was 12 years old, but both parents remained involved with Mr. Dominus and his siblings. Mr. Dominus had completed high school with no serious issues. He briefly attended Adamshire College. Mr. Dominus worked at many jobs after leaving school, including as a bus driver. Mr. Dominus had no criminal record and no history of antisocial conduct before the offense. He has no history of blocks use. Mr. Dominus was raised in a religious home. Mr. Dominus' father worked in mechanics at the Great Mortar Transit Commission. He died in 2009. In 2021, at the time of the offense, Mr. Dominus had legal custody of the 2-year-old son of his niece. Mr. Dominus later moved in with his brother after leaving his apartment at 123 Crossroads Drive, the location of the killing. One of his brothers, so this was at his house, okay. After leaving his apartment, alright. Mr. Dominus' history at 123 Cross Drive. Alright. Mr. Dominus lived at 123 Crossroads Drive from June 1st, 2015 until April 1st of 2020. He initially rented his unit with a female co-tenant, but by November of 2015, he was the sole tenant of the unit. Mr. Venom Shank and his family moved into the 123 Crossroads on December 1st of 2017. So Mr. Venom Shank's moved around the time. They lived in Unit 211. The unit directly above Mr. Dominus' unit. They did not know Mr. Dominus before moving into the building. Mr. Dominus made many complaints to the management of the building during his tenancy. In the fall of 2018 and winter of 2019, he sent numerous letters and emails complaining that the neighbors were hitting his walls and floors late at night and early in the morning, making derogatory comments and spreading rumors about him. In addition to his complaints to the management, Mr. Dominus filed complaints with the landlord and tenant board about harassment and excessive noise. In February and June of 2019, Mr. Dominus repeatedly called the police to complain about the people living above his unit. He alleged that they were yelling and screaming through the vents, spreading rumors about him and calling him names. Does this sound familiar to you guys? It sure does. On June 14th, 2019, Mr. Dominus called police and told them that his neighbors were telepathic and communicating through his mind. He said that his neighbors in the unit above were yelling at him constantly through the floors and from the balcony. He reported to the police that he was taking medication and he had been hearing voices in his head. A few days later, on June 17th of 2019, he again called police to report that there were a lot of demonic things happening. He said that people in units 121 and 221, the victim's unit, were calling him, and they said that they would kill him. He told the police that these people were telepathic. Mr. Dominus' diagnosis and the history of psychiatric illnesses before the offense. Mr. Dominus' only psychiatric admission to the hospital before this offense occurred on June 17th, 2019. On that day, he attended the emergency department of the Berry Health Network Crossroads campus. He was admitted from June 17th to June 19th. The hospital records disclosed that Mr. Dominus presented with new onset auditory hallucinations and a robust system of delusions relating to people monitoring him or trying to attack his computer. He has been paranoid about his neighbors and has actually called the police and made complaints to the landlord and tenant board. The records note that he reported telepathic communication. He said that the voices of his neighbors commanded him to wake up at night, and at the same time, and that the same people installed the device in his floor and ceiling that lowered his heart rate. The doctor at the hospital believed that Mr. Dominus was experiencing a first episode of psychosis. She prescribed medication, referred him to an outpatient program. Mr. Dominus did not take the medication and did not follow up with any psychiatric care. Mr. Dominus' writings and recordings. The police investigation after the offense disclosed extensive materials that Mr. Dominus had written and recorded concerning his perceived experiences at 123 Crossroads and his complaint about specific residents of the building, including the victim and his family. Mr. Dominus described being subjected to what he called voice to skull, V2K, directed energy weapons, and gang stalking. Mr. Dominus, in his writings and recordings, describes being harassed constantly. He identifies visual residents as responsible for the harassment and specifically blames Mr. Venomshank. He alleges that his harassers erase thoughts from his brain and are messing with his bodily functions. He writes extensively about synthetic telepathy and witchcraft. In a folder entitled Tolerance of What I Had to Hear and Deal With, dated November 28th, 2021, Mr. Dominus writes that the people in the Unit 211 were involved in harassment. In the same document, Mr. Dominus writes, messing with my heart rate, as they would mention before it happened. Watch this. And then my heart rate was slowed down or start beating immediately. They have also done this to my nephew, who I would hold. As I said, his heart rate would also be irregular, to the point I would hear him breathe different while sleeping. My veins would be messed with. They have been messing with my veins on my feet and let's making it expand and even pop once my brain veins moving. They have been messing with my brain while I can physically feel the veins moving within my brain as sits through to take information from me. They are typically doing this to me while I am asleep. In his writing entitled War of Words, there is a recurring theme of vengeance or payback. For example, he writes, I would be confident in killing them, even by hand. I'm not afraid to say the truth, for the amount of disrespect that I have received already. This is far gone out of the police's hands, and the only way someone can get comfortable while being tormented is by killing those who are responsible and witness the perpetrators dying before their face, just to secure back the privacy. Mr. Dominus also refers to self-defense in his writings and recordings. In War of Words, he writes, If I do anything, it is all in self-defense, and to help the greater cause. In his recordings during the months leading up to the murder, Mr. Dominus records videos for his family that explain that if he goes to jail, it is for defending himself. He also made a recording that described people getting murder and self-defense mixed up and asserted that self-defense was justified. He compares his self-defense against telepathy to the war in the Isle of Vigil. In one recording, Mr. Dominus discusses the attacks on him through witchcraft and telepathy in his right to defend himself, saying, You can go about it legally, the right way, or you can do the defense way, regardless which way, because the Most High is the judge of all, and he will judge you for your doings and actions, and if you're justified, hey, you can make it to heaven. Mr. Dominus' interviews with the assessing psychiatrists. Mr. Dominus was interviewed before the trial by Dr. Groot and Dr. Manak. As part of their assessment of his mental state, in the interviews he described the attacks that he believed were being carried out on him as voices go, V2K, synthetic telepathy, witchcraft, king stalking, community stalking, and sorcery. He explained that his problems, in his view, all originated with 123 Crossroads. According to Mr. Dominus, he first experienced hearing voices in 2018, but he described harassment beginning before that year. Mr. Dominus told the psychiatrists that he continued to experience what he described as attacks by telepathy even after he moved out of 123 Crossroads. He continued to experience the attacks and voices after the death of Mr. Venomshank and his arrest. Mr. Dominus understood that the criminal charge against him of blank. In his interviews with the psychiatrist, he denied killing Mr. Venomshank. He told Dr. Groot that the victim of the shooting was part of the voices tormenting him and that there were now less people involved. He also told Dr. Groot that he also felt that he was a target and that his life was in danger. Dr. Groot asked him about the passages in his writing that referred to Mr. Venomshank and being able to stomp him out. He claimed to have had no plan to do this. Although Mr. Dominus denied killing Mr. Venomshank, Dr. Groot asked him what would happen to him if he killed someone in self-defense. He stated, It would be up to the judge or jury what would happen to you, and went on to say that he would put everything to the Lord, and that he did not view it as wrong. Dr. Manak asked Mr. Dominus about his issues with the residents of 123 Crossroads. Mr. Dominus described them being harassed and surveyed. He described residents doing demonic things. Dr. Manak asked Mr. Dominus about his writings in the War of Words that appeared to acknowledge the society might punish him if he had defended himself against his enemies. He said, I'm trying to mention this day of one going through something, a war with someone. You need to protect yourself, protect your life, and defend you and your family. Dr. Manak asked Mr. Dominus if there could be more justification for self-defense that causes other harm. He said, You can be justified for certain things you are going through, if it is according to the law of the Most High. At another point, Mr. Dominus said to Mr. Manak, Self-defense is not murder. Prior to trial, Mr. Dominus did not describe to the psychiatrist his thoughts and actions at the time that he killed Mr. Venomshank. When he testified at trial, Mr. Dominus admitted killing Mr. Venomshank and explained his motivation for doing so. Both Dr. Groot and Dr. Manak listened to Mr. Dominus' testimony and re-interviewed him before they testified. Mr. Dominus testified at length about voices in his head and his belief that they were the voices of the residents of 123 Crossroads. He spoke of voiceless and synthetic telepathy and directed energy weapons. He gave lengthy and often unresponsive answers to questions. He returned frequently to the themes of synthetic telepathy and directed energy weapons. Mr. Dominus admitted that he had gone to 123 Crossroads with his gun, intending to shoot Mr. Venomshank. He described doing so. Mr. Dominus said that he targeted Mr. Venomshank because he was the only person that Mr. Dominus was 100% sure was involved in tormenting him. Mr. Dominus repeatedly described an incident where he was walking outside and hearing the voices, and he saw Mr. Venom Shank and his family on their balcony. The incident convinced him that Mr. Venom Shank and his family were involved. Mr. Dominus knew that shooting Mr. Venom Shank would likely kill him. He shot him intending to kill him. He planned the killing by taking his gun to the building and then following Mr. Venom Shank's car when he saw it turn into a driveway and underground parking garage. Mr. Dominus was questioned about the timing of his act shooting Mr. Venom Shank. The voices had been active for over 2 years, and Mr. Dominus was asked to explain why he chose to take action in November 2021. Mr. Dominus testified that a new year was coming, and that he could not let the attacks on him continue for another year. He said that close in time to the shooting, there was an incident where he was holding his nephew, and his nephew stopped breathing. At the same time, the voices said, "Watch this." He said, I would say the experience got worse in the sense of with my nephew, with the heart situation. Most of the stuff was only happening to me, so when I started seeing it, that's when he was born, 2020 in August. That's when more things that happened outside of just, and so it increased. He was asked if the incident with his nephew happened in 2020, and he said correct. However, at another point, he said that the incident with his nephew occurred close in time to the shooting. It was clear that Mr. Dominus' testimony that he believed his actions were justified. He described himself as acting in self-defense and to protect himself and his family, although he agreed that he was not facing an immediate physical threat from Mr. Venom Shake when he shot him. So, where I get from all this, this was not self-defense because, well, technically, realistically, if we don't look at Mr. Venom Shank's um mental health, we can say that this is just a shooting of a bored man. But now when we look at deeper look at this really is a mental disorder. He was cross-examined about his comments to Dr. Manak that around the time of the shooting of Mr. Venom Shank, he did not feel that he was being physically attacked, but only verbally attacked in his mind, and that he would find it unjustifiable. He would find it justifiable to make videos and expose the telepathy, but would not find it justifiable to retaliate physically. Mr. Dominus explained that he was not forthcoming in his interviews. He lied to the psychiatrist when he denied the killing, and as a result, he did not explain to him his reasons for the killing. He said, no. In regards to Dr. Manak and group, I never told them I killed anybody. So that wouldn't be irrelevant. No point in that. Mr. Dominus agreed that at the time he killed Mr. Venom Shank, he felt angry. He agreed that anger and vengeance were part of his motivation for shooting Mr. Venom Shank. Mr. Dominus was asked if he realized that society thinks what he did was wrong. I could care less about society thinks. I could care less what society thinks, I'm a man of my own, I'm not looking for friends and no favor. I'm a man of honesty and integrity as well. So I know what I believe and I stand firm, And if it was real society that's out there who's actually the ones going through it, they would agree with me more than anything. Mr. Dominus was sticking to his document entitled "Only If I Get Caught" read. It was put to Mr. Dominus that he wrote the document because he did not believe that society as a whole would understand his actions. He said, not like that in the sense of society. Only those within the society who are going to certain things care for certain things. He was asked if he recognized that society might have an opinion on what he did. He responded, I acknowledge that. Hopefully they can see both sides and understand what another man is going through. And before you paint the picture, read both sides before you paint that picture. And you'll get a better understanding and clarity of what happens. If I'm outside and I'm hearing the story, I'm bringing on my side automatically because, again, I don't know these people. And somebody in society would have the realness to understand them that more than, oh, you killed somebody. But why did I kill him? Why? What were the steps that were taken for me to kill him? I didn't care for society. Society didn't care for me. I'm struggling and going through the pain of suffering somebody so tormenting me 24/7. The only ones within society I could relate to was those people going through it. My own people. The Crown asked Mr. Dominus, but at the same time, you'd agree with me that you recognize the other people might not understand this. Mr. Dominus said, 100%. Because they're going to look at you crazy. They're going to label you, just like I went to a hospital. Psychosis. Mr. Dominus testified that he was a religious man. He believed that it was wrong to kill, except in the circumstances, such as self-defense or war. Now, guys, this actually has me stumped, right? Because this is an obvious answer, but this is also an obvious answer. These ones don't matter. But like right here, just think about it. If you spend, if you look at this from an outside view, right? A man, that's crazy. A man went to go kill an unarmed man, and it was actually planned and deliberate because of what happened to him. But if you take a look at him, he had a history. He didn't have any bad history, but he was going through so much pain for years. I'm gonna say he's not guilty under account of mental disorder. That's what I'm gonna say. I think that is the right answer. And for the last case of the week, did I get it right? Please tell me I got it right. You got it! Let's go! I told you I got it. Yes. Yes. Woohoo! You are so good. Oh my goodness, man. Was it hard? Probably not for someone like you. Oh, it was hard. I learned. Friday. Word. Oh well. That's it, I guess. That case was super sad. I feel so bad for the victim's family. It must have been really hard to accept a poor decision like that. And the mental battle the accused was going through, it must be horrible to live like that every day. Yeah, I don't even know how to feel. Who is even in the wrong in that situation? It's whoever you decide. Mental health is such a mystery. The accused stated that he went to the police multiple times. He even went to a hospital and was given medication. Even after all that, he still thought killing Mr. Venomshank was the only solution. Is it society's responsibility to identify threats like him? Why isn't it his responsibility to seek help? Heck, he did in fact receive help, except he was not being helped in the way he wanted. Damn. No, people come up with many reasons to hurt others. Why does his reason make him any different? I'll never understand mental health. I never show any emotion myself, as you have probably noticed. I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm glad I got to spend this week with you. Hey, man, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope we meet again. Thank you. I really appreciate it, my man. What? Thanks for playing. If you would like to donate, you can in Game Passes. It's in Hell's Unit. Wow. This game was actually kind of good. Wow, damn. I never thought a game could be this interesting. But it actually is. Well, thanks. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. And there's not a lot else to do in here. But I will see you later, boys. So goodbye. And of course, tomorrow is another day. Peace out, you guys.